Former middleweight champion Daniel Miracle Man Jacobs down to fight Billy Joe Saunders and reportedly is being eyed for a Canelo Golovkin Undercard. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. Your camp this time, Chris Algieri this go round, Virgil Hunter. Why this fight and why right now these new additions?
Well, first off, I want to take my hat off to you, brother, for not only just being neutral, but you know, being what a reporter is supposed to be, right? Not being biased, not putting your own personal opinions in there, and just respecting the sport. So hats off to you, brother.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. I got y'all covered. And if you want to become part of Notification Gang, hit that bell icon. Now, shout out to my dude, Daniel Jacobs. Shout out to the whole BK Brooklyn. Last fight, I was there live in New York. I came out from the East Coast, or I came out to the East Coast from the West Coast. And it was a good fight. Him and Golovkin. I thought Jacobs won. Some people had Golovkin winning with his jab. But nonetheless, it was a good competitive fight, and it was a healthy fight. And it's a fight, to me, that Jacobs doesn't really, even though he has a loss on his record, a lot of fans believe he won. Not even just fans, actual pro boxers. I interviewed Adrian the Problem Broner, and he said he had him winning, right? Peter Quillen, Deontay Wilder, Canelo Alvarez, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., all of them had Daniel Jacobs winning, right? So, nonetheless, it's not a damaging loss to me. He got knocked down, got back up, and fought harder. End of story. And some people thought he won. But now, reportedly, they're eyeing him for the Canelo versus Golovkin Undercard. I don't know how true this is. I haven't reached out to Jacobs or anything, but I just want to talk about the idea of it. And I mean, if it can come off, I love it. Daniel Jacobs is a formidable opponent for any middleweight. I mean, you could tell by people like Abel Sanchez. Abel Sanchez, he's a good trainer, but sometimes, especially in relationship to his fighter and his fighter's division, sometimes he says radical things, in my opinion. But you could tell every time he speaks about Daniel Jacobs, before the fight and definitely after, there's a level of respect there. And there's no radical, I mean, he's saying like, hey, when Golovkin moves up, Daniel Jacobs, this is his division. He'll be a champion again. You know what I mean? And he's saying these things because his fighter was just pushed. His fighter was a guy who had been plowing through guys. You know what I mean? And once they get hit, they quit. You know what I mean? Not in the sense of like Kell Brook quit, but in the sense of it's too much for him and the end is near. You know what I mean? That's not what happened. Daniel Jacobs, he beat bigger things outside of the ring, like cancer, right? Learn how to walk again, things like that. So he wasn't going to go easy, and that shows me something, because if Abel Sanchez is speaking with that level of respect, he must have seen something from Jacobs that lets him to believe that he will be the man at middleweight after that. And even though the Canelo fight signed, Abel Sanchez is still saying stuff like, we don't have to prepare for Canelo like we have to prepare for Jacobs. Jacobs is big, Jacobs is a good boxer, he can get on his toes, So he's basically making it sound like he believes Golovkin facing Canelo is an easier fight than Jacobs. So nonetheless, it wasn't a bad loss to me for Daniel Jacobs, and I would love to see him on the undercard because it could set up a future fight with the winner of Canelo versus Golovkin. Can you imagine that? Canelo Alvarez if he beats Golovkin, Canelo versus Daniel Jacobs, or a Golovkin rematch if Golovkin beats Canelo. So I really like it. I don't know the logistics. I don't know how much money it would cost, but this is what Jacobs should be looking for. Again, after a fight like that where some people dispute that he lost, it's like Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman. Okay, Sean Porter lost, but not everyone thinks he lost, and he definitely didn't get smoked, you know what I mean? Because if he got smoked, he would have got stopped or knocked down when he was getting hit with some of those hard shots. So to me, when Sean Porter loses to Keith Thurman or Daniel Jacobs loses to Golovkin, they're not terrible losses, if you guys get what I'm saying, because some people thought they won the fight for starters, and then they held a good account of themselves. So it would be good to see Daniel Jacobs get a big fight, and he deserves it. He deserves another big opportunity, a big money fight. Speaking of another opportunity, Billy Joe Saunders, the only other guy at middleweight with the belt, not named Golovkin. Billy Joe Saunders, his opponent, Khurtsidze, he got arrested and indicted on some conspiracy racketeering charges with the RICO law. So we don't know how long it's going to take for that to clear up, or sentencing, or whatever ramifications come with that. I don't know what kind of case they have against them, but all I know is in New York, they do not play when it comes to that RICO law, right? And they'll get you on all types of counts. So we got to see what happens with that. He was allegedly involved with some kind of Russian crime syndicate, buying illegal goods and stolen cigarettes in high amounts, like $18,000 worth. So the Billy Joe Saunders fight fell apart. Billy Joe Saunders needs an opponent. Daniel Jacobs took to his social media and he said, Coach Dre says, we'll be your dance partner, and basically says he'll take that slot. And it's funny because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Daniel Jacobs' trainer, longtime trainer, Andre Rozier, is the guy who was training Khurtsidze. So that would be a very easy, in my opinion, shoe-in, because you already had a guy who was training for Billy Joe Saunders. His fighter's out of the picture right now, dealing with legal issues. And Daniel Jacobs, I seen him in Vegas, I want to say last month. Well, yeah, it was May. It was the Canelo Chavez Jr. fight week. So he's in his shape. He's in shape. He can get in shape quick. He looked like he was in cool shape when I seen him. Things like that. So that would be a great fight, Billy Joe Saunders. And then whoever wins the Canelo Golovkin fight, even if Jacobs doesn't appear on the undercard, whoever wins that fight would have to come through Daniel Jacobs to get that last remaining belt if they want to be undisputed. So any way you slice it, I like it. I think Jacobs deserves it. Even if you had Golovkin winning, you cannot discount Jacobs' effort and the fact that he pushed Golovkin. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Jacobs pushed Golovkin to the brink. The way I could tell is because before that, Golovkin knocked out 23 people in a row. Ever since he made his HBO debut, he's been knocking people out, period. You know what I mean? And he did not knock Jacobs out, so that goes to show you that Jacobs is obviously about that life and formidable. People gave Jacobs no shot. I think I was one of the only people with a major voice that was giving Jacobs a shot with the boxing channel. You know what I mean? There may be a couple other people, but I don't know. I don't watch everyone's videos. But I know when I was saying stuff, people said I was crazy. Oh, but Dimitri Perogue, he knocked out Jacobs. Oh, Jacobs did this. Sergio Mora dropped him. Told y'all don't know shit about boxing. Y'all worried about Sergio Mora. Sergio Mora is not even a big puncher. So it was very evident to me, at least, from knowing the sport of boxing, that Daniel Jacobs, I don't even think he was really hurt when Jacobs got dropped by Mora. But even if he was, it was more credit to him being reckless and trying to get his man out of there. And he got caught off balance trying to aggressively stalk him. You know what I mean? And he did too much and he got sat down. It can happen. You know what I'm saying? If you're throwing caution to the wind, you got to look at it. Like Pacquiao versus Marquez, Pacquiao did the same thing. Got too aggressive when his man was hurt and paid the price for it. But he got knocked out. Jacobs got knocked down and went on to stop Sergio Mora. And then he didn't even really want the rematch. And then he took the rematch just because Mora was talking and saying, oh, it's because I messed up my leg. So he gave him another opportunity like a true champion. And then he beat Mora worse. And he didn't get knocked down, and he knocked Mora down multiple times, maybe 3-4 times before stopping him. And then Mora now says, like, man, this dude can hit. I'm telling you. So shout out to my dude, Daniel Jacobs. I would love to see him on the Canelo undercard versus Golovkin. It's a big event. It's in Vegas. And we'll see. If not, I would like to see him fight Billy Joe Saunders. Some people, I seen a graphic somebody made with Daniel Jacobs versus David Lemieux. I doubt it. And I think it'll be more on the Daniel Jacobs, or excuse me, more on the David Lemieux side, because I seen Jacobs reach out via social media to David Lemieux, and he said something like, we should fight. And Jacobs, he prompted that conversation, and David Lemieux said something like, I got bigger fish to fry, but I would love to fight you, but I got bigger fish to fry, which sounds bogus to me because you just fought Marcos Reyes. How you got bigger fish to fry? You know what I'm saying? Who? Like, unless Golden Boy told him something like, hey, you get the winner of Canelo versus Golovkin. You know what I'm saying? Unless he knows of something like that. But that, I don't know, that's just a waiting game then. You got to wait till September and you don't want to lose your spot. So to me, that shows if that is in fact the case, then David Lemieux is not, he views Daniel Jacobs as a risk. If he's going to not fight Daniel Jacobs because he wants to preserve his spot, you know what I mean, in hopes that he gets the winner of Canelo Golovkin, because what other big fish do you have to fry? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't even make sense. And Daniel Jacobs, he responded, who? Rod Salka or something. But that's just my thoughts. I can't wait. Middleweight division is getting stacked and it's getting cracking. Let me know your thoughts. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video. See you soon. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.